Simet nebo last mile connectivity koityi kokwatinwek chechang, yaetab ortinwek che itchini magutik chemagat ak ibunetab office nebo lands konyo Emurua asikotoret eng kaimutik chechang chebo mbarenik eng constituency noto.
Amache awekwa kongoi nebo iman amu kobuko kurai kabisa police ak kuchunga nebo Emurua Dikir. Kuonon abu kastab oeng kebendi ngalek kebare swearing in. Kastab oeng saa 8 ak nusu kokaketar ngalek kokoroi kwanyene mchumbe nguni kebare MP elect nebo Emurua Dikir. Kastab oeng kakoroi mchumbe kabisa. Amache anyamwa amu ngalechu ko chetinye tugul. Muda ni kukawe Nairobi wa mungu angete Nairobi kura ofisi karibu negi tangwan somo gyangole kwa Ministry of Energy awa inga nana CS nebo Energy au mitenda to choose schemes cheki yango chok mwa Johana Ngeno kutesita kama rabi chotan kwenye watar kazi notan nipata to choose schemes cheba rural electrification asimu nyositime kisi bi tumu cheki maite kwa chimpi chwa Emurua Dikir. Ya pili, kwa Ministry of Lands, amacha abartige ke land registry kwenye Dikir yon, kwa kiba civil registration kwa kibu kwenye Dikir. Namba aing ala namba neletunen, kwa amacha amwale, ngalega barabara, kwa gere bote sitabi geteme barabara. Kwa mwale, amai kutelen temene geteme barabara kurubani. Konta tunai tukukara algune mchumbe ngo yoin Kass kamuche nyeke kala contractors amu makimache keyawaret bare tuwa goaret nera kiboisien 56 million koma kibunu oranoton. Amache ale contractors tugul it will not be not going to be business as usual and leadership nebo Emurua Dikir. Contractors tugul chemiten amache kengalal ak keyai oret kikamilifu. Ongen oret chekikeyai nyon Panange kutote kendo kindo maram chemayame amache alenji ile ngolole tugul imeke oret komie. Akas ka kwarori friend ni ortinwek chon amache achoki kebwane ketare ngalechu eng oret. Ya mwisho ko ngalekab sipitali. Amache kechokyinge ngalekab sipitali on matikoruban. Ngalechu bo sipitali nebo level 4 nebo Emurua Dikir kwane nekirobulchi kabisa ak akase tabois kuwi komwa SS. Amache anyorurwo namut koweke ngalalet tabanan tutu ako kikimwa ak arochi tuguk chekimae sipitali ak kolenjon agenge kekikimache arochi ale kimache beek kikeban beek en sipitali. Nebo oeng ko ngalekab sirisietab daktariek kokibur ak tabanan tutu ak ale amae konon timelines tugul cheboisie sipitali nebo level 4 ako kokiit akoi tarikit 20 arawetab tisab kokakesir daktariek professionals tugul chekiboisien yoton akoi full operational sipitali nebo level 4. Ane anyosirichon kabisa.
Kangotestai komonge kandoik cheterter akochupto yautiet nekikibokchi Rachel Wandeto nekiityi kobet sabet kotesetai konyoru konyoiset eng sipitalitab Kenyatta National Hospital. Kamwa kandoichoto kole kikibokchi Wandeto kosubkei ak telelenyi nekitindoi eng polatet nekamwa kole tinye imanda chi age tugul nebo kokochi kasubet kebeberta age tugul nebo polatet. Hondochin Women MP nebo Kirinyaga and Wamuthara komwa kole manyal kabokchononotok ako mangu kole wendi konyoru imanda familia nebo Wandeto.
We condemn strongly wale watu ambao waliua Rachel Wandeto, na tunasema tukiwa hapa Kirinyaga ya kwamba Mungu aliye mbinguni awaone na alipishie baba yake na mume wake na watoto wake kisasi kwa kile ambacho wamefanya. Kuua mama aliye na watoto wadogo just because of political intolerance. It is the high time as Kenyans we change this attitude and allow everybody to be who they are. Whether you are one term, you are two term, you are quarter term or no term, let everybody be in this country, because me and you have only one country to protect, and that is Kenya. Have to practice political tolerance. I necessarily don't have to say what you are saying. You may want to be one term or two term or forever term or a quarter term or a low term, but we have a country to protect, and that is Kenya.
Na tuambie polisi hivi, na tuko na wao hapa nimewaona. Aki, hiyo story ya kusema we will not leave any stone unturned. I'm following up this case until I see people have been arrested and taken to court at jail. Maybe I will not arrest. I will do that with this team. hiyo kazi tutafanya. Hata nitawashika twende kwa Mulkomen, twende kwa DI, kwa IG, every office that will go, so that we make sure these people are arrested and punished. Ni sawa? Nilikuwa nasema maneno ya chama. Huyu akona hii chama na huyu mwingine chama. Chama ni kama kanisa ama mpira. Najua kuna wapendo wa Arsenal hapa. Na saa hii wanaenda wamefungua kifua hivi. Ati sababu walishinda match. I want to assure you that political parties are vehicles to propel you. Niwauliza mandugu, hapa umeona chama imekuja? Sindigitari amekuja? Siniwamuraza amekuja? Sinikoge amekuja? Umeona chama imekuja hapa? Ni chama inafanyanga kazi ama ni mtu anafanyanga kazi? Ni mtu ama ni chama? Mtu aangaliwe na ile kazi amefanyia wananchi. Ni sawa? Otherwise chama ni kama gari inakuchukua hapa Kerogoya inakupeleka Sagana. Si unaweza enda na Nissan, mwingine aende na Probox, mwingine aende na Sienta. Bora ni kufika Sagana. Sawa? Na watu wasipigane juu ya chama.
Kakotestai komange kandoik kobun Western Kenya komwa kole kokotoi ng'alalutik ak serikali eng maketab kekochi boroindo nebo Deputy President eng lewenisiet nenyone. Komwa kandoichoto koyoe tuyet eng Naivasha kondochin Speaker nebo National Assembly Moses Wetangula, Cabinet Secretary nebo Cooperatives Wycliffe Oparanya. Eng kwenutab kandoik alak kole kosubkei ak boisiet nekoyai kandoikab Western eng serikalitab Kenya Kwanza, kotesetai ichek ak tetutik chebo ng'alalet ak kandoik nebo konyor ng'echeret nekim eng serikali eng kenyitab 2027.
We demand for the running mate position to His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto in the 2027 election because we have the requisite numbers and capability for that position. Joint statement by leaders of the Western region. We, the leaders of the Western region, gathered in a spirit of unity and shared purpose, meeting in Lake Naivasha Resort, have resolved the following. First, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to the unity of Western region. We stand together as one people, one voice, and one purpose. The diversity of our communities is our strength, and we pledge to set aside political differences in the interest of the greater good of our people. Second, we express our full and unequivocal support for the re-election of His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto. Under his leadership, the Western region has witnessed meaningful engagement and increased resource allocation never witnessed before. We believe that continuity of leadership is essential to safeguarding the gains already made and unlocking the full potential of our region. Third, we call upon the government to expedite and complete all ongoing development projects in the Western region, including infrastructure, health, education, water, and agricultural programs. We commit to holding all relevant agencies accountable to working closely with the national government to ensure timely delivery.
Katestai nangayai tuyet eng betutab rani Cabinet Secretary nebo Treasury John Badi ole kangalale kotinygei ak budget and economic measures chebo kenyitab mungaret nebo kenyitab 2026-2027. Gegustigo.
This matters as is part of constitutional legislative process, and exactly that is what is going on. Recent media reports and public discussions on the Finance Bill 2026 are an important part of this process. So the National Treasury, however, notes that some commentary has mixed proposals contained in the current finance bill with past proposals and interpretations that do not accurately reflect the contents and intent of the Finance Bill of 2026. The National Treasury therefore wishes to clarify or to provide the following clarifications on certain tax proposals contained in the Financial Bill of 2026 and matters that have been inaccurately reported in sections of the media. But before I go into the specific details, I want to just point out two things. Number one, I have read some screaming headlines from some media houses, punitive tax measures. And then I get interested because I'm the one who actually drafted and submitted the finance bill, and I asked myself, which are these punitive tax measures that I'm not aware of? So let me read. And when I start reading, I see nothing. So I am really curious, what is really happening? Because someone says punitive tax bill, and then when you go into the details, they don't highlight those punitive or so-called punitive tax measures. Then I ask myself, is it politicizing the finance bill of 2026, which I don't want to allow to happen? Because again, we must be a responsible nation. If there is something, a problem with the finance bill 2026, let's point it out and then we deal with it. But let us not politicize. And in the spirit of that politicization, and that is what even now made me interested in addressing this matter again, I watched one of the leading lights in this country in terms of opposition politics, former vice president actually, someone who has been a minister in the government for so many years and has been an MP for 28 years, decides to mislead the public. First, I watched his press conference, I think it was a press conference, and he said, reject the finance bill. So I was waiting to hear why would Kalonzo, of all people, ask for the finance bill to be rejected. Then he says that, that there are hidden provisions in the finance bill, and that one of them is that you will now, there will be no leasehold, that you will be taxed on leasehold property. And Honorable Kalonzo is a lawyer. I wish he could point out in the bill that is before the National Assembly, the clauses that are there, any clause that talks about leasehold land or freehold land and taxation. I have the bill with me, and the bill runs, the bill is a very easy to read bill, and it runs from page 953 to page here is 1074, and there is nowhere in this bill that talks about taxing land, freehold, leasehold, whatever hold. There's nothing here. Can Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka tell the people of Kenya the particular clause in the bill that we submitted to the National Assembly, which is being discussed now publicly, where it has touched on taxation of land or freehold or leasehold? I guess the Honorable Kalonzo wants to be the president of Kenya at one point. That is his ambition. He would not want, when he proposes or his government proposes a bill for raising revenue or tax raising measures or revenue raising measures to the National Assembly, for people to come and bring propaganda. To me, it is irresponsible of a leader of such stature to propagate propaganda, because I know he knows that is lying. Why would he lie to the people of Kenya that Finance Bill 2026 contains such a provision and it is not there? That is irresponsible politics. But let me just point out the second issue, that we are alive to the fact that the options of raising more taxes are limited, because Kenyans have complained loudly before of high taxation. We are also aware that we are limited options in borrowing money to finance our budget. which continues to increase, especially as a result of debt service cost. Therefore, we are very innovative and creative in this finance bill. How? We are focusing, and we've gone back to the basics of taxation. The basics of taxation ensures equity, ensures fairness, and ensures simplicity. Therefore, the proposals in this bill are going to enhance simplicity to help us in tax administration. Fairness. Let everyone who is supposed to pay tax pay their fair share of tax and pay it fairly. Equity. Let us treat people equally. If you're making money and you're paying tax, pay. Another person who is making money should also pay his fair share or her fair share of tax. That is what is in this bill. And that is what we are pushing forward. And that is what we are asking Kenyans to support. Don't accept to pay tax and your neighbor is not paying tax and they have the capacity, they have the ability, and they are making income. That is the kind of fairness, that is the kind of equity that you need in an economy. And our national tax policy is very clear on equity, on fairness, and inclusion in terms of paying taxes. So let me now address some of the issues that have not been accurately reported on. And when I finish, you can raise questions. Number one is the 25% excise duty on mobile phones. 25% excise duty on mobile phones. I want to address this issue because it keeps on recurring and coming back. In the debate in the social media, not alternative media, every media has been mentioning this. So this is my response. Public discussion has particularly focused on the proposed 25% excise duty on mobile phones, with some commentary framing the proposal as taxation targeting the youth, digital access, and online livelihoods. The National Treasury, however, wishes to clarify that the proposal does not introduce a new tax on mobile phones. Mobile phones are currently subject to multiple domestic taxes and levies during their importation and along the supply chain, which include the following. There is 16% VAT on all mobile phones. There is 10% excise duty as we speak. So excise duty is not new. There is already 10%. There is 25% import duty on mobile phones. There is 2.5% import declaration fee. And finally, there is 2% of railway development levy. These taxes and levies cumulatively create an aggregate tax burden of approximately 55.5% within the current mobile phone taxation framework. 55.5%. On the contrary, the proposal under the Finance Bill 2026 seeks to simplify. So simplicity that I talked about seeks to simplify the existing structure by replacing the current fragmented framework with a single 25% excise duty collected upon activation of the phone. And I have explained this before, that at the moment when the phone arrives at the point of entry, all these levies and taxes are charged. The customs duty, 25%, excise duty, 10%. There is VAT at the point of landing here, 16%. There is import declaration fee of 2.5%. And there is 2% of railway development levy. All that is charged when the phone arrives. Now, immediately the phone leaves the port of entry, there are other taxes because it is followed along the supply chain until it reaches the consumer or the customer. VAT will be charged at every single step. And you see the danger with that, and we have explained, is that phones that are brought and put in the store, which have not been sold, the vendor has already paid taxes, reducing their liquidity. We are saying we are replacing that, all that complicated system, with a simple one, where you bring the phone, there is no tax, there is no charges, there is no levy, but the time the phone is bought and is being activated is when you pay one single tax, that is excise duty at 25%. Tell me how that makes phones more expensive than the current arrangement. So if enacted, mobile phones will no longer be subject to 16% VAT, 2.5% import declaration fee, and a 2% railway development levy under the proposed framework. The 25% import duty will also be removed upon implementation of the new tax regime, thereby simplifying the tax structure and lowering the overall domestic tax burden applicable to mobile phones. The proposal was therefore primarily conceived as a tax simplification and rationalization measure rather than the introduction of a new tax on digital access. The National Treasury recognizes that mobile phones increasingly serve as essential tools for communication, education, financial access, online businesses, digital work, and youth economic participation, which explains the heightened public interest surrounding the proposal. So I want to stop there on mobile phones. That is a clarification we can give. It is so clear. It is so flowing. It is so simple. I don't know why this issue must always be debated when we have provided clarity. Why one would want us to have multiple taxes all over the place for mobile phones and cause people who are trading in mobile phones to pay taxes for phones they have not even sold, when we are saying, please allow us to only collect one tax at the time the phone is sold and is ready for use. The second one, and this one is also addressing the issue of equity and fairness. That is the reporting requirements for virtual asset service providers. That is another one that keeps on coming up. So the Finance Bill of 2026 proposes the introduction of a reporting framework for virtual asset transactions through amendments to the Tax Procedures Act. Before I even proceed, it should be noted that virtual asset is a new phenomenon in town. It's a new concept in town. And anything new, and it is producing revenue and producing income, must also be subjected to tax in the spirit of fairness and equity, because there are other traditional businesses which are paying taxes. Why would new businesses be excluded from paying tax? So traditional businesses and financial transactions already operate within established accounting, record keeping and reporting systems, which make it possible to determine ownership, identify transactions, and facilitate administration of the tax system. The rapid growth of the digital and virtual asset transactions has, however, created a gap within the existing legal framework due to the absence of clear reporting obligations governing such transactions. So the proposal, therefore, seeks to apply reporting and record-keeping principles that are already common within traditional financial and commercial activities to the emerging virtual asset sector. We are just recognizing that there is a new kid in the block, a new sector coming in, virtual assets. They should be brought into the reporting system and reporting framework so that they also pay their fair share of taxes like other traditional financial and commercial activities. This proposal is intended to improve clarity, support effective administration of the tax system, and align the legal framework with the evolving digital and financial environment. Let me now clarify on card payment related fees, because this is another hot area that has been talked about. The Finance Bill of 2026 seeks to clarify the tax treatment of fees charged on digital payment and card transaction services. Over time, digital payment systems have grown rapidly through the use of mobile applications, payment platforms, software systems, and card payment networks. This has created uncertainty on whether some of these technology-based services should be treated as exempt financial services or ordinary commercial services for tax purposes. The proposal in the bill, therefore, seeks to provide clarity and ensure consistent treatment of fees charged on digital payment processing and card transaction services. The amendments are also intended to provide clarity following recent court decisions relating to taxation of fees arising from card transactions and digital payment platforms. Now, let me explain this a bit. You see, for example, the Visa card and the MasterCard. There are these people who provide these platforms to the banks. And banks charge interchange fees. Now, when these people are paid by the banks, are they supposed to just enjoy that income without paying tax? That's a question we should ask ourselves. For example, you and I, when we go to the bank to borrow loan money, we are charged. If you are the one borrowing money, you will pay with interest, but you are charged processing fees, whatever fee you are paying. Yet someone is seated somewhere. Most of them are not even citizens of this country, and they give a service, and they are paid. The banks pay them, and you are saying we should not ask for any tax from them. Is there fairness there? Is there equity? Is there equity? But you see, it would have been very easy to just tax them, but the court made a determination that the interchange fee does not fall within royalty and management and professional fee. Therefore, we are bringing them into that definition to remove that ambiguity, so that when they make money out of this platform that they are giving to the banks, then they would pay. Now, there has been the question that has come up about Safaricom. We have made it very clear to Safaricom and even Airtel that they are not falling here, because what they provide both. They are both, Safaricom is both payment service provider and owns the platform. So they don't fall among the people who are trading. You have a platform and you are trading with another. You are making income. Now for Safaricom, they have their own platform. So there is no ambiguity there. There will be no taxation on such. So I think that is also another area that needed some clarity. Withholding tax on digital content monetization has also been talked about. Withholding tax on digital content monetization. This is my response. I wish to clarify that the Finance Bill of 2026 does not contain a proposal introducing a 5% withholding tax on digital monetization, contrary to some media reports and commentary. I think they have gone back to Finance Bill of 2024. Let them check the title, the heading, the headline. We are on 2026 Finance Bill. It doesn't have that withholding tax on digital content monetization, which is being talked about at 5%. May I give some distinction between the Finance Bill 2026 and earlier tax proposals? The National Treasury wishes to clarify that several issues currently being discussed in sections of the media and public debate, particularly matters associated with the withdrawn Finance Bill of 2024, are not contained in the Finance Bill of 2026. These include proposals relating to VAT on bread. It is nowhere in our bill. Motor vehicle circulation tax is not in the Finance Bill of 2026. For emphasis, I'm just reading this for emphasis, that VAT on bread, motor vehicle circulation tax, access to mobile money transaction data, and the eco levy proposals on funds are not in the Finance Bill of 2026. Those are historical things of 2024. We are in 2026. Okay? May I lay some emphasis again? Taxing money transfers through platforms such as M-Pesa and PesaPal. Whereas the VAT Act expressly exempts listed financial services, it does not address the VAT treatment of modern digital intermediaries such as payment service providers and other technology-based platforms that facilitate money transfer and financial transactions. Specifically targeted are the digital services that are ICT-driven as opposed to the traditional financial services such as cash deposits, withdrawals, forex exchange, etc. It is worth noting that we had a discussion with Safaricom on Friday last week and explained that they are not among those we are targeting with the new proposals. Second last, introduction of withholding tax on card transactions such as Visa cards. This is being proposed at 0.01%, very modest amount. So interchange fees and fees paid by banks to card companies are not considered management, professional, or royalties under the current law. That is what I explained. A recent court ruling pronounced that these payments do not attract withholding tax. This is creating a gap in taxing income from card payments, as this income is not classified anywhere for tax purposes. To address this gap, the Finance Bill has defined management, professional, and royalty fees to include these fees. This therefore provides clarity following judicial interpretation, as well as enhanced revenue collection through expansion of the tax base. Now, if these providers of these cards are Kenyans, the withholding tax of 0.01% is only helping us in enhancing visibility so that we can see them, because it's not a final tax. Withholding tax is actually an advance tax, saying you have paid this, you will pay the rest. So even if you don't pay withholding tax at time, it does not remove you from tax liability. You will still pay the tax. But withholding tax helps in ensuring that the moment you pay withholding tax, then now you can easily be visible. That is what we are trying to enhance. Now, for those who are not Kenyans, the offshore, obviously, it will be the final tax because you will not go after them again. So we should encourage actually withholding tax on these services, especially for those who are not Kenyans, because then
Tesetai kibagengeit nebo National Cohesion and Integration Commission ak tuyet eng takchinetab koaror akobo alak eng kaimutik chekokitestai kebononchi cheboto alak eng biik chotok cheboisie bolatet eng oret nemanyalu ole kosubkei kibagengeit notok bo NCIC kotindoi imanda chi age tugul nebo kokochi kasubet kebeberta age tugul nebo bolatet koboto kora nyalu eng biikab emetab Kenya komeng'is eng kalyet ak kibagenge. Kunotok kotesetai icheket kokoitoi ng'alalet ak takchinet nenyalu kisub kotinygei ak magutikab National Cohesion and Integration Commission.
Good morning. Right. Let's pick the question so that when we begin to answer, I think we do it simultaneously. All right? Yes. All right. Good. Right, next. Nabiswa? Nabiswa, okay.
Mine is on politicians. With the current political temperature, we've witnessed a lot of hate speech, use of abusive languages, and are being aired out on
right, next. Yeah, proceed, please. Again? Yusuf. Okay. Yeah, we are not seeing remarks. Okay, next. Or do we answer those ones first? Yes. All right. I love what Kipto has asked about having maybe a representation from the Gen Zs in NCIC. I want to believe, CEO, we have.
Even here.
Here they are.
Even here, our media house, our in-house Gen Zs, there are many.
And very active.
Very active.
All right. So that answers that question. Are there cases from the previous commissioners or regime that have been handed over to us? Right? Yeah. The answer is yes. And shortly, we'll share with you the data. All right? You still have something, Kipto? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. In the management or in the commission? In the management. Yes. I can tell you we have a number of them. Yeah, in the commission. Yeah. And in this era, we have ensured that the agencies are represented. Yeah, all right? Nasibwe asked the question, before we go to that, I think I've mentioned about the cases. That one we'll share with you shortly. We are going to have our CEO to respond to that on behalf of the commissioners, because it's important you get to know that there are cases, yes, that had been processed. And like I said, we've just come to the office. It's important that we put that in perspective. Madam Nasibwe from KTN, how do we curb hate speech that we witness through the mainstream media platforms and all those platforms? And for sure, are we role models as leaders? That is our concern, among other things. What kind of a legacy are we passing on to our sons and daughters, our children, when they see us as leaders standing on platforms, name calling, and using languages that should not even be used on those spaces? And as a commission, we'll make sure that that does not arise. But much more so, we are saying this is a collective responsibility. And we want to make it very clear that we'll be engaging different stakeholders, the political actors, and leaders in this country, so that we can actually retreat and come back to ourselves and say, what are we passing on to our sons and daughters and the now generation? It's one of our mandates. So we'll engage with the stakeholders on that, because that's what we have witnessed. We cannot put our heads in the sand. Farah, from KBC, what are we doing about Mheshimiwa Azan Omar's remarks? I know this is a hot potato, but I can tell you, there's no issue that cannot be handled. Our investigative machinery is at work. One thing that we have resolved as a commission is to involve experts to help us decipher between freedom of expression, hate speech, incitement, and much more so, where we find the law has been breached. I can assure you, members of the Fourth Estate and Kenyans will act decisively, fairly, within the confines of the law. And that's what we have resolved as a commission. So our teams are working so that we don't act on emotions and we are not driven into political contests. As a commission, we've got to make sure we act within the confines of the law and make sure that we are impartial, but at the same time firm with the resolve to protecting Kenyans, curb hate speech, ethnical rhetorics, and anything that will put the country in a wrong path. So, wait and see. You'll see a lot happen. All right, another question that may have arisen? Yes.
The incitements, personal attacks, all seen it starting from the top. How strong are you starting from the top? And many have questions the capacity of NCSC. What examples can you say that you handle this so you can handle that?
Like I said, if you listen to the speech, no one is above the law. The law applies and cuts across, right from the top leadership all the way to Mashinani. Wait and see how this commission is going to serve. And I can assure Kenyans, you will be well represented in terms of handling hate speech, incitement, etc., right from the grassroots to the top and from the top to the grassroots. One thing about NCAC Commission, this is a neutral commission. We are an arbiter. We are not partisans. We are non-partisans as a commission. So we'll make sure we protect the interests of our people, the country. We have a country to keep. We have our people to put together. That's why it is called cohesion and integration. So anybody, it doesn't matter who he is, that will breach the law, will make sure the law catches up with them. Watch this space. All right? Now, someone asked the question about the... Yes, we have a program that we have come up with. It's called the Transgenerational Framework, where we want to make sure we bring in young people on board to have what we call Amani clubs. We have Uchaguzi Bila Noma. We want to make sure we go to the counties. We want to make sure we do peace caravans. There is a whole roadmap that we have that not only leads us to 2027 elections, but even beyond. We also want to make sure that we go to all the spaces and begin to do serious civic education and community engagements so that we restore back what needs to be restored in as far as national values and principles are concerned for us as a country. So it's a program. We have a roadmap that maybe we may not unveil today, but we'll make sure as we move on and we work together with you, media, we'll be sharing with you some of the roadmap thoughts that we have. Thank you. About the cases. That's right. Now, we have 57 cases under various stages of investigations, 57. This includes cases on hate speech, both online and offline. And I can tell you these cases are with other multi-sectoral agencies, because we work together with other sectoral agencies. As you know, we do investigation, make sure the cases are processed and they are handed over to the director of prosecution, etc. We work as a team under the Ministry of Interior. Yeah, so those cases are being processed. I think that's it. Yeah, like I said, the current one is being investigated also. We want to make sure we are factual. Yeah, right. We have to separate between political rhetorics, all right, what has been breached as far as the law is concerned, so that when we take a step, you know, the worst thing that can happen is when you take a step and then the case doesn't go far, because we did not do a serious job. One of the things NCS will do is to do thorough investigations and make sure that we have enough evidence, facts, that can actually bring somebody to book. All right? I think that's good enough, and commissioners, I think we have communicated what we wanted to communicate. Thank you very much. Over to you, Madam Olive. And I want to once again appreciate for the state. I mean, I love working with the media fraternity. Some of you have seen me in different spaces, especially in the interfaith forums. So we shall work together. We'll even come to your stations and unpack this speech, ask us all the questions, and we'll deliver. Because one thing that we have in mind is to have one Kenya, one people, and one shared destiny. Thank you very much. Over to you, Madam Olive.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you, Vice Chair, Commissioners and CEO, and members from the Corporate State. We really appreciate it. It's a new dawn for NCIC and your own.
Kimitei agobo inye ago kimita siginetkei kibaibaitkei ak kinoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke.
Kotitinye ng'oliot age tugul kotinygei ak tetutik chok, sirwech sirutiet en oretab email konyo info@kassfm.co.ke anan ko SMS en number 55552 anan ko 30552 ak imwawech kit nechome ak nemechome.
Kass TV, kimnotet nai.
From 11th June to 19th July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Get DSTV access for as little as 1,450 Kenya shillings today.
Over 1,900 games brought us here, but history doesn't care about the journey.
The Premier League is the best league in the world.
La Liga is far and beyond the biggest winner.
It only remembers how it ends.
You bought it.
8 titles. 1 month of mayhem to decide them all. Stay connected and watch GoTV to catch the football season finale this May. It's on.
This May, enjoy more drama on Star Times. Unrivaled stories.
Tanggol, you will leave as a Dimagba, but return as a Montenegro.
Characters you can't forget. More love, more secrets, more twists that leave you breathless.
You're a true monster, Benito. We will fight for what's rightfully ours.
Recharge your monthly subscription today and unlock endless drama every single day. From heartbreaking betrayals to burning romance, the drama never stops. Experience Novella E now on Nyota Bouquet on Aerial and Nova Bouquet on Dish Decoder. Download the Star Times On app to enjoy all your favorite shows and stream live channels on the move. Star Times, enjoy digital life. From 11th June to 19th July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Get DSTV access for as little as 1,450 Kenya shillings today.
Over 1,900 games brought us here, but history doesn't care about the journey.
The Premier League is the best league in the world.
La Liga is far and beyond the biggest winner.
It only remembers how it ends.
You bought it.
8 titles. 1 month of mayhem to decide them all. Stay connected and watch DSTV to catch the football season finale this May. It's on.
Eng uitugulole imite atajin missing eng tetutyetab kaskasari nekibun kabaibaitetab kei kobun tienwogik cheterter cheu bongo.
Niko salama, salama, sijui
afrobeat amapiano ak alak.
Kataige wigit ne naat ko succession week kole kakiyai tuyet eng kapkirwok nebo Bomet Court ole takchingei notok inet biikab emet akobo kandaetab malik missing ko chebo mbarenik kosubkei ak Esther Boke ne ine ofisat neo nebo kapkirwok nebo Bomet ko kirwokik chebo mbarenik komi barak eng county notok bo Bomet. Sikeibun logoichotok eng logoiwek chemitei tai kobate ikere eng nguni kotesetai kong'ololi kandoindetab chamaitab Jubilee Party notok ko Fred Matiang'i ole tesetai ak tuyet nebo Kiambu Delegates Convention. Gekostiko.
Kwamba wakati tunasema la ni kwa nini tunasema hivyo, na pia tutoe mapendekezo yetu, because we are not just a party, we are a group of people who are interested in the best for the country that we live in. So we'll make our proposals also in the hope and respect that the structures of government we have in place will respect those proposals, because mambo mengine ambayo yako hapo it's untenable. Our country cannot go on in that kind of manner. Lakini mwishowe nawaomba ndugu zangu na dada, leo nimejivunia kabisa tena zaidi kuwa hapa Kiambu, kwa sababu ushujaa ule nimeona hapa, kama Ikonya amezungumza hapa na Principal Chief na hawa wamama wamezungumza hapa, Mama Choice, kwamba tunampenda rais wetu na tutakaa hapa tuendelee mbele na rais wetu, tukiendelea mbele kujenga chama chetu. Ninawaomba nikimalizia, tukae hivyo, tukae na umoja na heshima kwa wale wengine ambao tuko nao katika siasa, vile vyama vingine. Tunazungumza polepole na tunakaa kwa heshima. Sisi hatuna matusi. Rais wetu ambao ni kiongozi wetu wa chama ni kielelezo kamili vile siasa inapaswa kufanywa, na ametueleza na ametuamurisha tufanye kazi kwa njia ya kuweka nchi yetu pamoja. Our stability and the progress of our country is more important than us as individuals, na hivyo ndivyo tutaenda, Mheshimiwa Rais. Nimalize kwa kushukuru sana na kuwashukuru viongozi wote wa NEC na Mheshimiwa Rais kwa nafasi hii ya kutumikia chama chetu kama naibu wako, na pia majaliwa ya Mwenyezi Mungu kubeba bendera ya chama hiki chetu katika uchaguzi ujao katika kuwania kiti cha urais. Mimi nawahakikishia, mimi ni mwanafunzi wako, nimefanya kazi na wewe. Ile mstari umenionyesha na vile umenionyesha, hivyo ndivyo itakuwa, na tutaenda mbele namna hiyo. Tutarudi kwa serikali, majaliwa ya Mwenyezi Mungu, tutatenda vile mipango yako ilikuwa, kurudisha linda mama, ili kuangalia maslahi ya wa mama wetu, kuangazia mambo ya elimu na yale mengine tunaongea, na tutasidi tukifanya mjadala huu tukiongea pamoja na wananchi. Ninawahakikishia, I will not let you down. I will not let you down. And you will not be, you will not regret making this decision. By the grace of God, kwa majaliwa ya Mwenyezi Mungu, I promise you, I will step up to the responsibility. I will carry your hope and expectation faithfully. I will carry your character and your aspiration, that all of you people, led by our president, want a peaceful and well-managed country. And I will humbly, very, very humbly, work with everybody, all our brothers and sisters in all formations in this country, whether they are in united opposition, Linda Mwananchi, na wale wengine wote. I will sit with all my brothers and sisters, provided we are traveling one direction to save this country from the madness that we are seeing going on in the country today. Tuombe Mwenyezi Mungu aendelee kutulinda tukiwa katika safari hiyo, na mimi nina hakika what will happen, Reverend Ndewa, as you prayed here, what will happen in this country ni yale Mungu mwenyewe atatuongoza tutende, na tukijinyenyekea mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu, his good will be done, and we will get to the destination we are seeking to go by the grace of God. Sasa Niliambiwa kuna mwanamuziki ambaye anaimba wimbo mwingine Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa anapenda zamani. Tunaweza kumkumbusha kidogo ile mambo mazuri. Wapi Mudhoni?
Harambe! Harambe! Jubilee hoye! Wapi panduruya? Wapi duruya? Daktari Fred Matiang'i! Wapi duruya? Ni aweno gai. Wapi duruya? President Uhuru Kenyatta! Mwana wako Ijai kidogo. Munene wako Uhuru Muigai wa Kenyatta. Ndokire Gĩceha ngiuga mũndũ mũgĩgĩkũyũ erirwega ya gatanakũra wakuhĩrĩria kũinũka watũreheire BBI wanumani wanuciringi na ithe tũgĩgũkararia ũgĩ naguo ndwambagĩrĩra korwo nĩ
Kiwekchinigei report notok pa county nebo Bomet ole katoigei wikit nenaat kou Succession Week ole kakiyai tuyet eng kapkirwok nebo Bomet Law Court ole takchingei notok kinet biikab emet akobo kandaetab malik missing ko chebo mbarenik kosubkei ak Esther Buke ne ine ko ofisayat neo nebo kapkirwok nebo Bomet ko kamwa kole tindoi kirwokik chebo mbarenik komi barak missing eng county nebo Bomet.
Iyonchini kele ng'alalanitet ko oret neketatuane shidaishek chekitindoi.
Lakini wakati umekataa
Head of Station Bomet Law Courts. So wiki hii tunafanya kesi za succession zile ambazo hazina upingamizi. Kwa kizungu inaitwa uncontested succession matters. So hizo ndizo tunafanya wiki hii. So leo tumefanya open day. Ndio tuelezee wananchi ni nini tunafanya wiki hii yote. Na pia tupe wananchi nafasi ya kuuliza maswali na kuelezewa jinsi tunavyofanya kazi kotini. Ndio wajue procedures za koti. Na pia wajue ni nini wanatakikana kulipia na ni nini hawatakikani kulipia ili wasiwe wanadanganyika wakikuja kotini. Na vile vile kufanya wananchi wasiogope koti. Koti tuko hapa kufanya justice, kufanya cases, kusaidia wananchi watatue cases zao. So wananchi wasiogope koti. Tuko hapa kuwafanyia kazi. Sisi pia ni binadamu. So wasituogope na wasiogope koti. So wiki hii tunafanya hizo cases mpaka Friday. Na pia tuko na kesi zingine zile tayari ziko kwa course list. Hata hizo pia tutaendelea kufanya kulingana na vile zimewekwa kwa course list. So hii exercise inafanywa koti zote Kenya. Ni program ambayo tuliruhusiwa kufanya na mkubwa wetu CJ wetu ili ndio tumalize hizo cases haraka. Sheria inasema cases zimalizwe haraka. Mtu akileta kesi yake kotini imalizwe, ifanywe na imalizwe haraka. Sasa hiyo ndio exercise tunafanya kuhakikisha kwamba tumemaliza cases haraka zisikae kotini muda mrefu. So inafanywa countrywide, koti zote Kenya. Na pia tunahimiza wananchi wa Bomet wa file cases za succession. Mtu wao akisha kufa na aliacha mali, wakuje wagawane hiyo mali. Iende kwa wale watu ambao bado wako hai. Kwa sababu tumegundua sana hizi kesi mali ya watu waliokufa wakaacha shamba, inafanya watu wapigane bure kwa sababu hawajui ni nini wanatakana kufanya. Wanatakana wakuje kotini wafanye succession, ndio hiyo mali sasa iende kwa wale watu ambao wako hai bado. Ni nyingi. Ni vile sasa bado wananchi tunaendelea kuwahimiza walete cases kwa sababu kuna wale bado hawajajua kwamba wanatakana wafanye succession.
Kiwek chenige report natoka kwa Jubilee ole teseta nginguni tuyet nebo Kiambu Delegates Convention ole ngalale nginguni neki President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Na nikisema hivyo, nasema hivyo nikijua ya kwamba hata wiki iliyopita tulikuwa tulikuwa na shughuli ingine ambayo kwa sababu ya vile mambo yalikuwa hatukuweza kufika, lakini mkakubali ya kwamba tutakutana na mtarudi tena na ndio tuwe nafasi. Newega muno Kiambu, asanteni sana wenzangu wa Kiambu, nashukuru sana. Niseme ya kwamba mimi siku ya leo yangu haikuwa mengi. Yangu yalikuwa kuja hapa kuungana pamoja nanyi tukiwa tunajadiliana chama chetu cha Jubilee, pahali tuko na pahali ambapo tuwaelekea. Vile mjuavyo, tumekuwa na matatizo mbalimbali kwa chama chetu, na sio matatizo ambaye imekuwa yetu, ni matatizo ya kuletewa. Mwajua ya kwamba kutoka nipatiane uskani wa nchi na nikapatiana kwa njia ya heshima na ya utulivu na ya amani. Kazi yangu kutoka hapo ilikuwa nianze mpango wa kupatia chama chetu cha Jubilee viongozi wapya wa kuipeleka mbele, na tukaanza hiyo shughuli, na tukianza kwa njia ya utaratibu ule ambao ulikuwa unatakikana kisheria, kikatiba ya taifa na kikatiba ya chama chetu. Lakini wengine wakaona hapana, hii ni nafasi yao ya kuchafua chama chetu, wakatufungia, wakatupeleka makotini. Kwa muda wa miaka mitatu tumekuwa tunang'ang'ana juu ya kitu ambacho hakuna, kwa sababu sisi tulikuwa tunasema wananchi, wanachama wapatiwe nafasi wajichagulie viongozi ambao wanataka. Sasa leo mimi bado niko katika hiyo harakati ya kuhandover, na wengine wanasema ati naingilia siasa. Kama wangeniwachilia ule wakati wa mbele, hii kazi na shughuli ningekuwa nimemaliza zamani, na hiyo ndio ilikuwa upendo wangu. Lakini nimeamua tutaendelea mpaka tutimize hiyo shughuli kulingana na mapenzi ya wanachama wetu na kulingana na sheria na muongozo wa katiba yetu, tukiwa tumefuata sheria ambazo zimewekwa katika katiba letu na katika sheria za nchi yetu tukufu ya Kenya. Kwa hivyo safari tumeianza. Tumeona sasa ya kwamba yale mabadiliko ambayo tuliweka badala ya kubadilisha katiba yetu kidogo sasa yamekubalika, na Dr. Matiang'i amekuwa confirmed kama naibu wa kiongozi wa chama chetu. Wanamuita Ole Kenta naye amepewa nafasi ya kuwa katibu mkuu, na wale wengine. Na sasa mwelekeo wetu ni tuanze kule mashinani, mambo ya mobilization na kuandikisha watu na wananchi, tuandikisha wananchi ndio tuwe na uchaguzi wa chama wa mashinani mpaka tufike juu na tupate viongozi ambao watapeleka chama chetu na nchi yetu ya Kenya mbele, tukijua ya kwamba mbele itakuwa sawa kwa sababu ya waamuzi wa wananchi wenyewe na sio waamuzi wa watu wachache. Na hiyo ndio safari tumeanza, na ndipo tuko hapa leo nikio tuwe guku umuthi. Neguo na tuwe guku tondu togete kimwe itene nyingi iria turenda takiama kuruirira, si ndio? Na nimefurahi kuona wengi ambao wamefika, ambao wako tayari kugombania nyadhifa mbalimbali za uongozi kutoka mashinani mpaka juu. Hiyo ni haki yenu na sisi tuko nyuma yenu. Yangu ni kuhakikishia nyinyi ya kwamba kama mimi niko kazi ambaye nimebaki naye kwa chama, ni kuhakikisha ya kwamba uchaguzi ambao utafanyika ndani ya chama chetu utakuwa uchaguzi wa haki bila mapendeleo. Wananchi wenyewe waamulie viongozi ambao watataka. Kwa hivyo mimi nakuambia, kama kuna yule ambaye anafikiria utachaguliwa kwa sababu wewe ni rafiki ya mtu fulani, niene warata wa Uhuru ni shoka kwe mwananchi ucio ni ugakuhe kura. No rio kaheo kura ni mwananchi ucio niwe murata wakwa kuringana na siasa. Urata uyu ungi ni wa kando wa utongoria ni uria koimana na uria andu a mashinani mageka atia makoiga. Neguo hiyo ndio njia ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba tumepata haki na tumepata viongozi ambao wamechaguliwa na wananchi, lakini sio viongozi wa kuwekelea. Si ni namna hiyo wenzangu? Na mimi nataka niseme hivi, nikiwa kiongozi wa hii chama, kama kuna kitu mimi nafurahia ya kwamba chama chetu sio chama ya sehemu fulani. Chama chetu ni chama cha kitaifa. We are a national party. Na yale ambao tunazingatia masilahi ya wananchi kutoka kila kona la taifa letu la Kenya. Sisi sio chama ya kubagua, sio chama ya mapendeleo. Sisi ni chama cha kitaifa. Na nikiwa nimesema na naangalia ndugu yangu Matiang'i hapa, sisemi ati kwa sababu yeye ni Mkikuyu. Nasema ukitaka kuwa kiongozi wa chama cha Jubilee, uongoze kwa kuunganisha na kufanyia wananchi wa kazi kila pahali popote wametoka. Moro dagadhure, you go everywhere in this country na usimamie haki zao. Na nafurahi tukiwa na Secretary General wetu hapa, mtu ambaye nimejua miaka mingi, tumetoka naye kutoka wakati tulikuwa TNA. na kwa siasa zake kule Narok habagui Masai, habagui Wakikuyu, habagui Wakalenjin, habagui Wakuria. Yeye anahudumia wote wakiwa sawa kama wananchi ambao wanaishi na yeye ni kiongozi wao. Na hiyo ndiyo mwelekeo wetu kama chama. Na hatuwezi kukubali kurudishwa nyuma. Kana nemo gwetekana kushokio na dhudha. Na hakuna mtu ambaye anastahili kutisha mwenzake. Hakuna mtu ambaye anastahili kutisha kabila tofauti. Sisi zote ni Wakenya na Mwenyezi Mungu anajua ni kwa sababu gani alituweka pamoja kwa nchi ambayo inaitwa Kenya. Sio kuja hapa kutugawa na kutupiganisha. Hiyo sio haki. Na nataka niseme hivi kwa sababu mimi hii siasa ni ukweli. Tumeanza kuona wengine wakianza siasa ya mgawanyiko. Na wana haya wakiongea haya, wanaongea haya mbele ya wakubwa wa nchi na wanasimama na wanaongea mambo ya kuchochea, mambo ya kulete vita, mambo ya kugonganisha Wakenya. Na hakuna mtu ambaye anasimama hapo kusema msiongee vile mnaongea. Wanaruhusiwa tu waongee yale ambao wanasema. Sisi kama taifa, na ni vizuri tuambiane ukweli kwa sababu tusipoongea ukweli tutarudia makosa ambaye tumefanya nchi hii. Hii sio mara yetu ya kwanza kuona viongozi wakiongea mambo machafu ya kulete vurugu. Na ya mwisho tuliyaona mwaka wa 2007. Tusifikiria kwamba hiyo mambo ilianza hapo hapo. Ilianza kwa maneno kama haya ambao watu wanaongea. Na waomba viongozi wa serikali, naomba viongozi wa usalama wa nchi hii yetu ya Kenya, kama kwa ukweli mnapenda nchi yetu, msiruhusu mambo haya yaendelee. Mukitaka wema na amani ya nchi, viongozi wauze sera. Uza sera. Na mimi nawauliza hata nyinyi kama wana Jubilee, tuuze sera. Tuuze yale ambaye tunataka kutendea wananchi. Na tusibague wananchi. Tuuze sera zetu, kazi yetu. Kwa sababu unashindwa. Hihataji mtu awe ni mwerefu sana kujua shida iko wapi. Kusema ya kwamba ati watu wakiwa na hii na hii na hii, kwa nini hawakufanya? Hapana. Kila wakati na wakati yake. Sisi tumeenda, nyinyi ndio mpo. Sisi tulijaribu kwa vile tuliweza. Nyinyi pia deal with the issue. Na issue ni simple. Wenzangu, issue ni simple. Watu wanapiga kelele kwa sababu wanasema, jameni, mimi ni mtu ambaye mshahara wangu kwa mwezi ni shilingi 20,000. Hiyo 20,800 inaenda kwa petroli peke yake kwa matatu kuenda na kurudi nyumbani. 12,000 inaenda kwa nyumba ambaye nimekodesha. Nimebaki na 2,000 ya kulisha watoto wangu na kuwapeleka shule. Hiyo ndiyo shida. Ongelesha shida. Hapana ongea mambo ya kabila na ya nini.
Kimitei agobo inye ago kimita siginetkei kibaibaitkei ak inoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke.
Kotitinye ng'oliot age tugul kotinygei ak tetutik chok, sirwech sirutiet en oretab email konyo info@kassfm.co.ke anan ko SMS en namba 55552 anan ko 30552 ak imwawech kit neichome ak nemechome.
Kass TV, kimnotet naet.
From 11th June to 19th July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Get DSTV access for as little as 1,450 Kenya shillings today.
Over 1,900 games brought us here, but history doesn't care about the journey.
The Premier League is the best league in the world.
La Liga is far and beyond the biggest winner.
It only remembers how it ends.
You ball it.
8 titles. 1 month of mayhem to decide them all. Stay connected and watch GoTV to catch the football season finale this May. It's on.
This May, enjoy more drama on Star Times. Unrivaled stories.
Tanggol, you will leave as a Dimagipa, but return as a Montenegro.
Characters you can't forget. More love, more secrets, more twists that leave you breathless.
You're a true monster, Benito. We will fight for what's rightfully ours.
Recharge your monthly subscription today and unlock endless drama every single day. From heartbreaking betrayals to burning romance, the drama never stops. Experience Novella E now on Nyota Bouquet on Aerial and Nova Bouquet on Dish Decoder. Download the Star Times On app to enjoy all your favorite shows and stream live channels on the move. Star Times, enjoy digital life.
From 11th June to 19th July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Get DSTV access for as little as 1,450 Kenya shillings today.
Chamgei chitab Kalenjin amang'ung'ui tugul ole imite koibaibai ak igere ketesiet nebo Kass TV itagat eng logoiwekab emet kigurena Jacqueline Arusi. Kitaune logoiwechoto kole tesetai tuyet nebo chamaitab Jubilee nebo Kiambu Delegates Convention ole tesetai kokoitoi ng'alalenyi neki president nebo emoni Uhuru Kenyatta. Ngeguschigo.
Sasa mkuje muambiwe siasa ingine ya ukabila itawaletea nini isipokuwa shida? Musikubali. Mulenge mbele. Mulenge mabadiliko ambaye itainua hali ya neba wako. Awe Mukikuyu, awe Mukalenjin, awe Mujaluo, awe Mukamba, awe Mkisii, awe Mudigo. Huyo neba wako ndio unastahili kuinua, akiinuka hata wewe umeinuka. Ama ni namna gani? Na nyinyi vijana ambao mnatafuta uongozi, tafuteni uongozi kwa njia ya kueleza vijana wenzenu vile mtawabadilishia maisha, vile mtawapatia kazi, vile mtatengeneza mitaa yao, vile mtashirikiana na wao waweze kuwa Wakenya ambao wanajivunia na wanafurahia nchi yao. That is all we need, my friends. Hii Kiambu yenu jameni, kwa sababu ya vile Nairobi imekuwa, ni makabila ngapi hapa ambao wanaishi? Si ni wengi? Si ni wengi? Kaenda henania. Yeah? Yes. Na mumewakaribisha na wanaishi hapa. Na wanafanya kazi zao na biashara zao. Wengine mumewachagua kuwa ma MCA. Wengine mumewachagua kwa vyeo mbalimbali katika biashara. Kwa sababu ya vile mnajuana na hawa kama viongozi, sio kwa vile mmejuana na hawa kwa sababu ya kabila. Tumeelewa na wenzangu? Kenya ni ya wote, na pahali unaishi hapo ndipo kwako. Ujifurahie, ujivunie na ukatae kuletewa siasa ya ujinga, siasa ambaye haikupeleki pahali popote. Si ni hivyo wenzangu? Yado ito netoraiguithania. Netoraiguithania. Andũ a Kiambu netoraiguithania. Rĩu nĩkĩo ndĩramwĩra. Tondũ mokire mũkĩreherwo maũndũ hũhũhũhũ. Ndĩmwĩroreire ũguo. Ndĩmwĩroreire ũguo. Ngĩgeria kũmwĩra inyuĩ. Ĩno barabara mũrathiĩ. Ĩno mwerekeirio. Nĩ andũ aya na nĩtũmoĩ. No inyuĩ mũgacoka kũrĩra. Mũkĩnjĩra atĩrĩrĩ, twarĩra nĩ ithuĩ tũkĩarĩrĩra, nĩ tũĩ ũrĩa tũreka. Nĩtũraiguithania. Mũgĩtiga atongoria. Mbunge mũgĩthura andũ. Na wĩra wao kũu nĩ gũthiĩ gũkumia maũndũ ma mũndũ ũngĩ, no ti kũmũrutĩra inyuĩ wĩra. Kana gũtetera maũndũ marĩa mamũkoniĩ. Nĩ mũrĩ maigua makĩaria? Nĩ mũrĩ maigua makĩaria? Maũndũ marĩa mamũhutagia nĩ maiguaga makĩmarĩrĩria? No rwĩmbo tondũ mũndũ nĩekĩrwo tũthendi mũhuko, mwĩyũriei kana ũguo nĩguo mũgũcoka. Na rĩu mũtikaige mũtiĩrĩtwo nĩ ndamwĩra. Nĩguo thurai atongoria ti ateti. Atĩrĩ, ona mbeca tondũ nĩ mũkũreherwo rĩ, rĩai na mũrĩe na mũrĩe na mũrĩe na mũrĩe tondũ nĩ cia. Nĩ mũranjigua ũrĩa ndĩramwĩra?
Kagomwa MP-elect nebo Emurua Dikir David Keter kole chobot kotoi boisionik chebo bandab tai kong'ete betutab mutai yekiyasiyechin inendet eng igortanetetatgei eng Parliament nebo National Assembly eng sait 8 ak kebeberyat nebo bet. Kong'alale eng Murkan komwa ine kole alak eng boisionik chetetat kotaune koletetab stimet nebo last mile koityi kokwatinwek chechang, yaetab ortinwek cheityini magutik chemagat ak ibunetab ofis nebo lands konyo Emurua Dikir asikotoret eng kaimutik chechang chebo mbarenik eng constituency notok.
Amache awekwa kongoi nebo iman amu kolipwa kurait kabisa polis ak kitungo nebo Emurua Dikir. Koni onon amu kastab oeng kebendi ng'alek kebore swearing in. Kastab oeng saa 8 ak nusu kokaketar ng'alek kokoroi kwanyene mchumbe. Nguni kebore MP-elect nebo Emurua Dikir. Kastab oeng kakoroi mchumbe kabisa. Komache anyamwa amu ng'alechu ko chetinye tugul. Muda nilikuwa Nairobi wa Mungu wangu yote Nairobi kura ofisi karibu ndege tangwan somo gyangu kwa Ministry of Energy au ngana CS no energy au mitenda to schemes tege yangu cha mheshimiwa Johana Ngeno kuteta kama rabi chotan kwa tabda zinota ni pata tu schemes kwa rural electrification asimo nyositime kisi vitu chigi maite kwa chimbi kwa Emurua Dikir. Ya pili, kwa Ministry of Lands, amacha wabatige ke land registry kwenye Dikir kwa ni civil registration kwa hiyo kwenye Dikir. Namba aing ala namba nene tunen ko kamache amwanen en ngalekab barabara ko kwagere koteseta biik keteme barabara ko kwamwanen amache kotelel temet keteme barabara kolipani kotatun aitu kokoroib ine mchumbe en koyoin Kass kamuche nyekekalala contractors amu makimache keya oret bare tuwa oret nekakiboisien 56 million ko makibunu oranoton amache alei contractors tugul it will not be it is not going to be business as usual and leadership nebo Murwadikir contractors tugul chemiten amache nyekengalal ak keyai oret kikamilifu ongen oret chekikeyai en yon konan kekutote kele akindo maram chemayome amache alenji nyekengolole tugul imoe keyai oret komie akas kakwaror friend ortinwechon amache achokyi kebwone ketore ngalechon bo oret ya mwisho ko ngalekab sipitali amache kechokyingei ngalekab sipitali matikoruban ngalechu bo sipitali nebo level 4 nebo Murwadikir kwane nekirobunchi kabisa ak akase tobois kui komwa SS amache anyorurwo en amut koweke ngalalat tabanam tutu ako kikimwa ak arorchi tuguk chekimoe sipitali ak kolenchon agenge chekikimoche arorchi ale kimoche beek kikeban beek en sipitali nebo oeng ko ngalekab sirisietab daktariek kokibur ak tabanam tutu ak ale amache konon timelines tugul cheboisie sipitali nebo level 4 ako kokiit akoi tarikit tiptem arawetab tisab ko kakesir daktariek professionals tugul chenyokoboisien yoton akoi fully operational sipitali nebo level 4 ane anyosirichon kabisa.
Kakotestai komongei kandoik cheterter akochupto yautiet nekikibokchi Rael Wandeto nekiityi kobet sobet kotesetai konyoru kanyoiset eng sipitalitab Kenyatta National Hospital. Kamwa kandoichoto kole kiipchini anan kibokchi Wandeto kosubkei ak telelenyi nekitindoi inendet eng bolotet nekamwa kole tinye imanda chi age tugul nebo kokochi kasubet kebeberta age tugul nebo bolotet. Ngololi eng Kirinyaga komwa County MP nebo komosatak Anwa Muthara kole manyal kabokchino notok ako mangu konyor imanda familia nebo Wandeto.
We condemn strongly wale watu ambao waliua Rachel Wandeto, na tunasema tukiwa hapa Kirinyaga ya kwamba Mungu aliye mbinguni awaone na alipishie baba yake na mume wake na watoto wake kisasi kwa kile ambacho wamefanya. Kuua mama aliye na watoto wadogo just because of political intolerance. It is the high time as Kenyans we change this attitude and allow everybody to be who they are. Whether you are one term, you are two term, you are quarter term or no term, let everybody be in this country, because me and you have only one country to protect, and that is Kenya. Have to practice political tolerance. I necessarily don't have to say what you are saying. You may want to be one term or two term or forever term or a quarter term or a no term, but we have a country to protect, and that is Kenya.
Na tuambie polisi hivi, na tuko na wao hapa nimewaona. Aki, hii sio hiyo story ya kusema we will not leave any stone unturned. I'm following up this case until I see people have been arrested and taken to court at jail. Mimi I will not arrest. I will do that with this team. Hiyo kazi tutafanya. Hata nitawashika twende kwa Mulkomen, twende kwa DI, kwa IG, every office that will go, so that we make sure these people are arrested and punished. Ni sawa? Nilikuwa nasema maneno ya chama. Huyu akona hii chama na huyu mwingine chama. Chama ni kama kanisa ama mpira. Najua kuna wapendo wa Arsenal hapa. Na saa hii wanaenda wamefungua kifua hivi ati sababu walishinda match. I want to assure you that political parties are vehicles to propel you. Niwauliza madugu, hapa umeona chama imekuja? Sindikitari amekuja? Sindiwa Muraza amekuja? Sindikoge amekuja? Umeona chama imekuja hapa? Ni chama inafanyanga kazi ama ni mtu anafanyanga kazi? Ni mtu ama ni chama? Mtu aangaliwe na ile kazi amefanyia wananchi. Ni sawa? Otherwise chama ni kama gari inakuchukua hapa Kerogoya inakupeleka Sagana. Si unaweza enda na Nissan, mwingine enda na Probox, mwingine enda na Sienta. Bora ni kufika Sagana. Sawa? Na watu wasipigane juu ya chama.
Kango kaita gurset Cabinet Secretary nebo Treasury John Badi eng kandoik chebo opposition koistoege letaetab logoiwek cheikoitoi kotinygei chebo lembech kotinygei ak budget nebo kenyitab mung'aret nebo kenyitab 2026-2027 nebo tonotok pa finance bill eng amwa kole nyalu kong'alale logoiwek chebo iman nekata tesetai ak letetab logoiwek chebo lembech eng biikab boror.
I welcome constructive engagement, but I don't welcome propaganda. I don't welcome propaganda, especially where propaganda is coming from senior leaders in this country. Let us call out some of these leaders because they should not stir unnecessary emotions. We have really gone to great lengths to balance of things, to ensure that Kenyans are not overtaxed. And at the same time, we have a budget to support. Therefore, please don't bring propaganda into the finance bill of 2026. Don't hype emotions unnecessarily. When you hype emotions and you take people to the street out of propaganda, some people will have their property destroyed. Some people may lose their lives. That is not the country we want to lead. I would not mind if people protest in the street if something is wrong with the finance bill. But if there is nothing wrong, please accept there is nothing really wrong. And let us pass the bill as it is. If there is any amendment, please bring it out. What happened with the legislation? Finance bill is actually in parliament to be legislated. Some of the leaders talking about it and saying reject have their MPs in parliament. Let those MPs file amendments which they think is offensive about the bill, and I will support. But as it is, no one has come forward to address me with concrete evidence that the bill that we took to the National Assembly has issues. That is why now you hear leaders as senior as Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, His Excellency Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, now talk about something that is nowhere in the bill, just to whip up emotions and take people to the streets for his own selfish interest, thinking that that is what would motivate people to start singing with him one time. It doesn't work out that way. Kenyans are intelligent. They will know that you want to misuse them. Where is that your leasehold that you are talking about in the bill? Kenyans are not stupid. They read the bill. And they will know that your interest is not about the bill. Your interest is not about the economy. Your interest is about having Ruto out of power and sitting there, probably without even knowing what exactly you want to do once you get into power. Because if you cannot even read the bill, which I have submitted to the National Assembly, and interpret it correctly, and highlight the flaws in the bill, you bring your own propaganda, and you want to lead the country as a president. For heaven's sake, I am convinced beyond reasonable doubt, and I'm sure a majority of Kenyans are with me, that you have no clue and ability to lead this country.
Kakotestai komange kandoik kobun Western Kenya akomwa kole kokotoi ng'alalutik ak serikali eng magetab kekochi boroindo nebo Deputy President eng lewenisiet nenyone nebo 2027. Kamwa kandoichoto kayai tuyet eng Naivasha kondochin Speaker nebo National Assembly Moses Wetangula, Cabinet Secretary nebo Cooperatives Wycliffe Oparanya eng kwenutab kandoik alak kole kosubkei ak boisiet nekotestai koyochi serikalitab emoni kotindoi magetab kokoito sometab kekochi ng'echeret nekim eng kenyitab 2027.
We demand for the running mate position to His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto in the 2027 election because we have the requisite numbers and capability for that position. Joint statement by leaders of the Western region. We, the leaders of the Western region, gathered in a spirit of unity and shared purpose, meeting in Lake Naivasha Resort, have resolved the following. First, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to the unity of Western region. We stand together as one people, one voice, and one purpose. The diversity of our communities is our strength, and we pledge to set aside political differences in the interest of the greater good of our people. Second, we express our full and unequivocal support for the re-election of His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto. Under his leadership, the Western region has witnessed meaningful engagement and increased resource allocation never witnessed before. We believe that continuity of leadership is essential to safeguarding the gains already made and unlocking the full potential of our region. Third, we call upon the government to expedite and complete all ongoing development projects in the Western region, including infrastructure, health, education, water, and agricultural programs. We commit to holding all relevant agencies accountable to working closely with the national government to ensure timely delivery.
Kolan chemung'arainik chekonyor maket nebo kwal kebeberwek chebo mung'aret kobun kampunit nebo Kenya Mortgage Refinancing Company. Kosubkei ak kampunit noto kokonyor samet nebo chemung'arainik chemoche kwal kebeberwekab mung'aret cheite silingishek bilion 9.38.
This is not merely a corporate milestone, it is a national milestone. The successful issuance and listing of the 3 billion shilling sustainability note, which is the first sustainability bond in Kenya's domestic capital market, actually signals a decisive shift in how we mobilize capital to finance our development priorities. It affirms that Kenya's capital markets are deepening, diversifying, and maturing in line with our long-term economic aspirations. I will repeat time and again that the traditional sources of funding our development needs have become untenable. First, our revenue collection is not keeping pace with our expenditure needs.
So this is, I think, the second tranche of our bond program. The key thing is market timing. And we came to the market this time because we thought it's the right time, and indeed it's actually the right time. Now, remember we had put this into tranches. We had planned for 3 tranches, maximum 4, and this is our second one. We ought to have come to the market in 2024 or 2025, but of course the macros were not good. So to cut the long chase, the third tranche is actually coming after next year in 2028, but it's also obviously subject to market conditions because our circumstances are very clear to us. It is about affordability, and therefore we are very sensitive on the cost. On your second question, it is a green bond. It qualifies as a green bond because, of course, the approval granted by the regulator, the CMA, falls within the framework of a green bond. As far as the law is concerned, both from the regulatory perspective and even the tax laws, it actually is qualifies for tax exemption. We have a framework, the Sustainable Finance Framework, that actually guides the utilization of funds. So of course, it's a sustainability bond, and that cuts into green as well as the social. Now, at least 30% of what we are raising goes into green, and the difference, of course, is part of the social that we are covering. And
as you heard, this bond has been 3 times oversubscribed, and had we extended time, would have been many times oversubscribed. As per my earlier remarks, I mean, it all depends on the strength of the issuer, that they're well liked by this market. Of course, the structure. The tax-exempt nature of it was very attractive. In terms of who the investors were, we've seen a wide range. I mean, this market is typically driven by institutional investors.
Kataige wikit nenat ku succession week ole kakiyai tuyet eng kapkirwok nebo Bomet Lokot ole takchingei notok kinet biikab emet akobo kandaetab malik chebo mbarenik.
Iyonchini kele ng'alalanitet ko oret nitot nekitatuane shidaishek chekitindoi.
Lakini wakati umekataa
head of station Bomet Law Courts. So wiki hii tunafanya kesi za succession, zile ambazo hazina upingamizi. Kwa kizungu inaitwa uncontested succession matters. So hizo ndizo tunafanya wiki hii. So leo tumefanya open day, ndio tuelezee wananchi ni nini tunafanya wiki hii yote, na pia tupe wananchi nafasi ya kuuliza maswali na kuelezewa jinsi tunavyofanya kazi kotini, ndio wajue procedures za koti, na pia wajue ni nini wanatakikana kulipia na ni nini hawatakikani kulipia, ili wasiwe wanadanganyika wakikuja kotini. Na vile vile kufanya wananchi wasiogope koti. Koti tuko hapa kufanya justice, kufanya cases, kusaidia wananchi watatue cases zao. So wananchi wasiogope koti. Tuko hapa kuwafanyia kazi. Sisi pia ni binadamu. So wasituogope na wasiogope koti. So wiki hii tunafanya hizo cases mpaka Friday. Na pia tuko na kesi zingine zile tayari ziko kwa course list. Hata hizo pia tutaendelea kufanya kulingana na vile zimewekwa kwa course list. So hii exercise inafanywa koti zote Kenya. Ni program ambayo tuliruhusiwa kufanya na mkubwa wetu, CJ wetu, ili ndio tumalize hizo cases haraka. Sheria inasema cases zimalizwe haraka. Mtu akileta kesi yake kotini imalizwe, ifanywe na imalizwe haraka. Sasa hiyo ndio exercise tunafanya kuhakikisha kwamba tumemaliza cases haraka, zisikae kotini muda mrefu. So inafanywa countrywide, koti zote Kenya. Na pia tunahimiza wananchi wa Bomet wa file cases za succession. Mtu wao akisha kufa na aliacha mali, wakuje wagawane hiyo mali, iende kwa wale watu ambao bado wako hai. Kwa sababu tumegundua sana hizi kesi za mali ya watu waliokufa wakaacha shamba inafanya watu wapigane bure, kwa sababu hawajui ni nini wanatakana kufanya. Wanatakana wakuje kotini wafanye succession, ndio hiyo mali sasa iende kwa wale watu ambao wako hai bado. Ni nyingi ni vile sasa bado wananchi tunaendelea kuwahimiza walete cases, kwa sababu kuna wale bado hawajajua kwamba wanatakana wafanye succession, walete cases zao za succession kotini. So tunaendelea kuwahimiza, lakini tangu wakati tulianza kufanya hizi public open days, tunaona namba imeendelea kukua nyingi kotini. Watu wameanza kujua, wanaleta cases zao kotini. So tutasema kuna good progress.
Kenya Article 159 iko kwa Article 159.
Itakating logoiwekab radioshek ole koibeli Samuel Njoroge nebo timitab Safaricom eng leng nebo aeng nebo kabelishetab PGK Golf Tour nekokiyai eng weekend nekosirto eng taonitab Thika, kotareng boroindo nebo aeng Dismas Indinza nekonyor pointishek 283.
The course today for me it was tough. Pressure, a lot of pressure was there, but I just keep calm and told myself that I will do it. Just relax and we'll do it. I think that I want to thank Safaricom for being with us, coming on board, sponsoring the tour, the 4 players. I'm happy. Yes, and I thank them so much. Yeah.
So my name is CJ Wangai. I'm the president of Professional Golfers of Kenya, and we are here for the second leg of the Equator Tour, the road or the pathway to Magical Kenya Open 2027. I would say it's been good. One is that the course is really playing well. We've had 4 good days of good golf, with the winner emerging up at 10 under par. Probably for those people who understand golf, that's really a good score. So this event has been a success. I can call it a big success.
Chitab kalenjin kakitukyo emetab logoiwekchok chebo emet ak ureriosiek chekakimuch kebun kong'ete studio nebo Kass TV. Kongoi missing operanda nekaikonech iker logoiwekab emet chebo Kass TV. Kikurena Jacqueline Arusei ak amagun kit age tugul nemie.
Baraton College ko tertiary institution nebo higher learning ne igoitoi somanet ne ititaat ako ne nyumnyum lipanetab school fees. Igoitoi courses chenamege ak kasari che inyorune boisiet koketar. Igoitoi ije courses chebo artisan, certificate, diploma, degree ak masters programs eng education, animal health and production, computer science and information technology, geriatrics, nenoto ko professional caregiving, theology and psychology, business and technical courses. Tindoi mornok Baraton College eng Eldoret ak Sabet. Nai ile tesetai integenguno asina jajangi irutaji website eng www.baratoncollege.ac.ke anan go email eng baratonacademic@gmail.com. Imuchi kora ibirsimet eng number 0714 486 039. Kimitei agobo inye ago kimita siginetkei kibaibaitkei ak inoisejige tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke.
Kotitinye ng'oliot age tugul kotinygei ak tetutik sirwe sirutiet en oretab email konyo info@kassfm.co.ke anan ko SMS en number 5552 anan ko 30552 ak imwawech kit nechome ak nemechome.
Kass TV, kimnotet naet.
From 11th June to 19th July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Get DSTV access for as little as 1,450 Kenya shillings today.
Over 1,900 games brought us here, but history doesn't care about the journey.
The Premier League is the best league in the world.
La Liga is far and beyond the biggest winner.
It only remembers how it ends.
You bought it.
8 titles. 1 month of mayhem to decide them all. Stay connected and watch GoTV to catch the football season finale this May. It's on.
This May, enjoy more drama on Star Times. Unrivaled stories.
Tanggol, you will leave as a Dimagipa, but return as a Montenegro.
Characters you can't forget. More love, more secrets, more twists that leave you breathless.
You're a true monster, Benito. We will fight for what's rightfully ours.
Recharge your monthly subscription today and unlock endless drama every single day. From heartbreaking betrayals to burning romance, the drama never stops. Experience Novella E now on Nyota Bouquet on Aerial and Nova Bouquet on Dish Decoder. Download the Star Times On app to enjoy all your favorite shows and stream live channels on the move. Star Times, enjoy digital life.
Over 1,900 games brought us here, but history doesn't care about the journey.
The Premier League is the best league in the world.
La Liga is far and beyond the biggest winner.
It only remembers how it ends.
You bought it.
8 titles. 1 month of mayhem to decide them all. Stay connected and watch DSTV to catch the football season finale this May. It's on.
Eng uitugulole imite atajin missing eng tetutyetab kaskasari. Negibun kabaibaitetab kobun tienwogik cheterter cheu bongo.
Niko salama, salama, sijui wewe uko.
Afrobeat, amapiano. Ak alak chechang missing. Keri lekotuye ak anendet Cheroti Tochi kila Jumamos kong'etie sait 4 nebo karon.
Lene ureriosiek ketuitosi eng tetutiet nebo Lene ureriosiek elekitokyinige ng'wondet nebo ureriosiek.
Course haikuwa mzuri sana, ilikuwa mbaya.
Kong'eten chopchinetab kei nebo rwoik chebo emetab Kenya kochopchingei labatosiek cheterter ak urerenik chebo emet nebo Kenya. Koboto kora ng'alalutik chebo ng'amotik chebo ureriosiek eng emoni.
So ameche alechi vijana tugul kaikai ongeboisie talenta chekikonech sikobit keboisien en oret nekararan.
Kila betut nebo Jumatatu ak betut nebo komut kasi.
Kasarta age tugul ko kaitar boisieng'ung. Eng kila koskoling anget ale imite imunyi ak ibongoni boisiet nebo mutai. Kero, meboekan amu amiteu akobo inye. Aibun tetutyetab Kass tienikyok kila Jumatatu akoi komut kasi. Sikong'etkei sait 11 akot sait 12 ak kebeberyat. Eng yutok aibun tienwogik cheiboiboin. Ak nesire tugul ko tienwogik cheistoun stress. Omite ak anendet Cheroti Tochi. Tetutyetab netesetai koitun eng kila komut kasi eng Kass TV kong'ete sait 2 nebo kemboi akoi sait 4 nebo kemboi. Omite ak anendet Jacqueline Arusei. Watileng netesetai ketindoi segments cheterter. Mite kebeberta nebo what's trending king'olole akobo topics chekotestai ko trendan during the week eng social media. Aketindoi kora kebeberta nebo Talent Central. Kitoche tienik nyokobarta talent nenywanet akonyor support kobun akweket mashabik. Ongetuyen kila komut kasi eng netesetai. Omite ak anendet Jacqueline Arusei. Inakuanga moto fire.
Posten on Twitter, Insta, aginde Facebook. Kona ingwenduni gole impo wangu.
Tetutyetab netesetai extra. Ko tetutiet nekibun mixed moto played by one and only our baddest DJ Redmond.
Redmond, Ole Serem.
Ibwate kora kole eng kasarta age ketoche influencers, tiktokers, social media influencers ak chi age tugul nekose kotindoi talent akomeche kobartagei eng mashabik.
Can become red flag. We were green flag and it did not help us with anything. Can we just?
Ongetuye eng kila Jumamos eng netesetai extra. Omite ak anendet Jacqueline Arusei. Akibwatile mix anan